Hey guys, and welcome to the Mina channel. And today I have kind of a video regarding the best games on the first part of 2019. So I've been seeing people talking about that 2019 wasn't a good game for, a good year for gaming. And I was thinking about all the games that I liked so far, and games that I was kind of like, you know what? I actually disagree with that. I think there's a lot of good games on this part of the year so far that I actually really enjoyed so far, and I think they're really good games. And now not all of games are good, and I completely agree with that. There's a lot of games that are not good at all. There are games that are just don't do justice to everything, right? So obviously not every single game can be in the list, but at least I'll try or attempt to talk about the games that I think that are really good so far on the first part of 2019. And of course I'm gonna do another list later on the road at the end of the year with all the games, and just talk about every game that I liked or enjoy or whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this list. And before we start this list, like I said, not every single game is gonna be here, and well, it is a numbered list. It's not really in a specific order or anything like that. So if you see a game that is in the list and you're like, oh, what's this one not number one or whatever, they're numbered, but they're not ranked. It's not like one game is better than the other. These are just the games on the first part of 2019 that were pretty good, but they had something that I really liked about them. But let's go ahead and get started with this list. And at number one, just starting, I have Resident Evil 2. And Capcom did an amazing job with this game. Personally, I'm a Resident Evil fan. I like horror games, and looking at how the remake was looking, I was really hyped for this, but they could have easily flopped this, and they didn't. They did a pretty good job with this, and I'm very happy for them, because if they can do games like this, that means that they can do much better games in the future, improvement on what they have right now, and that's good to hear. Then at number two, I have Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, Kingdom Hearts 3 have a love-hate relationship with this game. Well, there was a lot of things, a lot of stuff that I was really hyped for this game. There were some stuff that definitely disappointed me in some aspects, and some aspects that I just hoped that this game was going to be a little bit better. That being said, the game did do a lot of stuff that was right for them, but I still do think that there were things that I was kind of like, man, if they had just done a little bit better, and it could have been easily Game of the Year contender on that aspect. But it was still a good game nonetheless, and I do think that this was one of the better games of this year so far, so I did include it in the list here. Then at number three, I have Metro Exodus. And Metro Exodus is I never played a Metro game before this one, but I love the aesthetics of it. I like the design of it. I like the creatures that you fight, the guns that you use. Everything's just very different, and it has a different aspect to them that I never played before. So to me, everything was very new and very vibrant and very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The story was interesting, and it had a lot to say about specific something. So I really do admire games like this, and I really enjoyed this game a whole lot. And then at number four, Devil May Cry 5. So as I mentioned before, I am a Resident Evil fan, and I am also a Devil May Cry fan. Devil May Cry and Resident Evil were the two franchises that I played a lot of when I was a kid growing up, in my PlayStation 2. So looking forward to Devil May Cry 5. I was hyped for it. I was hopeful for it. DMC, the remake that they did for Devil May Cry, wasn't super good, so I was kind of slightly concerned about it, but I was hoping they were going to do a good job. After playing Resident Evil 2, my expectations went up the roof. I was like, man, this game better be good, because it is made with the same engine, so at least it's gonna be good. And you know what? Devil May Cry 5 did not disappoint. It was an amazing game. There were a lot of really good stuff on it, and I was really excited for everything that they did so far. Capcom is in a roll right now. Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry 5 both made by Capcom with really good, high quality content, and I was really happy for that. I'm still happy for that. I'm really hyped for what they have in the future. They're definitely gonna do a lot of good stuff. I believe in them. And then at number 5, I have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and this is another project that I was looking out for, kind of expecting it to be good, but I was like, well, this is new and different from the other games. So far, the only things that I played from Software were some of the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne, and I love Bloodborne, and I love Japanese culture, so seeing a Devil I'm sorry, a Dark Souls game but in Japan setting. That's something that I was hyped for, interested on. So I was definitely looking for how this game was gonna look out to be, and they did not disappoint. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, one of my favorite games of the year so far. The aesthetics of it really well done. All the different animations and the characters that were interesting. The story was interesting. It was just a game that was so much attention to detail when it comes to the weapons, the design. Everything was just amazing. I really enjoyed the experience with the game, and I really enjoyed developing my character and meeting all these people, their stories and everything. It was a really well made game. From Software really did an amazing job with this game, and whether you like it or not, or how it ranked in your Dark Souls list or whatever, I do think that it was a really good game in 2019. Then at number 6, I have Days Gone, and Days Gone was one of those games that I was not looking forward to. I don't know if every single game in this list, Days Gone is the one game that I was like, this game is gonna flop. It looks bad, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Days Gone, the first time that I saw it, I was like, man, this game looks so generic. The guy looks so generic. Everything about it just looks generic. And you know what? It is generic in some aspects, but because it is generic, they're able to do certain things with the story, with the characters, with everything about it that makes it so unique and different and vibrant, and something that I didn't expect them to do. They really went above and beyond with this game, and I can really commend them for the good job that they did. I was definitely pleasantly surprised. I was excited. I was happy for them. I was like, you know what? They did a good job and they did it right, and if they continue to do this kind of job, I mean, at this point, PlayStation has done such a good job with a lot of the games they've done. So looking at this game was kind of like, wow, they can still do really good games. They are amazing at doing them, and they know when they're doing something right. And this is the case here. It was a really well done game. It did have a lot of defects when I played it on launch, and it did get better over time. So all I want to say is PlayStation, take your time, let them take their time, even if it's a little bit longer than expected. I'd rather the game come out to be completely 100% better than bug-free instead of just having a lot of bugs and that kind of stuff, because some people, it can break the experience of the game. Okay, well, on number 7, I have a game that I never even heard of before it came out. I heard about it probably about a week before it came out, and I was like, holy crap, why didn't I hear about this game? And that's A Plague Innocence. So this is a game that takes place during a European plague-like city. It's getting invaded by these rats and everything, and you follow the story of these two siblings who, in different aspects, they're very at odds with each other. They don't really know each other very well. But the elder sister just had to take responsibility and help her little brother and escape together through the city and everything. The story is really capturing. There's a lot of heartwarming moments. There's a lot of scary moments too. This game has a mechanic where you have to hide around and everything, but at the same time, there is a combat aspect to it. There's aspects where you have to almost like solve a puzzle, but not really. This game has a lot of good stuff looking for it. The game looks gorgeous, and this is one of the best looking games in this list, to be honest with you. There's a lot of good stuff that I just look at it and I'm like, wow, this is an so to speak indie game, and it looks really good. It really does, and I was really happy for how the game looked more than anything else. And then at number 8, I have Persona Q. So Persona Q is a game that I have played before 2019, but I am adding it to the list because this is a 2019 game. It came out in America in 2019 in June, so I am adding it to the list. But to a lot of people, this game came out back in 2018 and everything. But Persona Q is a spin-off series of the original Persona 5. This is actually the second game on the series, Persona Q 2, and when I played this game, or when I heard about it, I was like, okay, that's cool, but I'm not really into the first game. I enjoyed the first game, but I didn't think it was super good. But Persona Q2 came out, and again, it supported my expectations. It had a lot of really good stuff look going for it. The character design looked better, the UI looked amazing, the battles were a little bit quicker, and it had a lot of more thought into them. The puzzles were really good. There were a lot of really good stuff that really got me to it. The story was much better than the first one as well. So overall, while Atlus does like to milk these games to death, I think that Atlus is doing a pretty good job as far as giving you the quality of like an actual game with the price of a smaller game. Since Persona Q2 was a 3DS game, it wasn't a $60 game, it was actually only a $40. So with the quality of the game and the price and everything, I thought it was a really good experience, and Atlas definitely did a much better job in this one than they did in the first one. And when you see a company doing better with a spin-off series that is not their main series or anything like that, then you should commend them for it, because they are definitely putting a lot of effort into doing a better job. So yeah, good luck and good job with that. Speaking of spin-offs and that kind of stuff, at number 9 I do have Cadence of Hyrule. So Cadence of Hyrule is kind of almost like a spin-off slide combination between two different games. This is an indie project, so to speak, with characters from The Legend of Zelda. And when I heard of this project, I was almost not excited for this because of the way that the other game plays. But at the same time, the game looked really good with the 18-bit, and the music sounded really good. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a chance. And I was not disappointed. The game played really, really good. All the different character animations look unique and very fun to play. It was a little bit hard to kind of just get into the rhythm of the game and everything, but once you get into it, it's a good experience and it's really fun to play with. So I definitely want to encourage everybody, if you haven't played Cadence of Hyrule at this point, you should definitely check it out. It is an indie game with an indie price tag attached to it, so definitely go and check it out. At little number 10, I do have a game that it's a recurring game. It is coming out episodic from month to year to year. The first episode came out last year in 2018. However, the game is still not completely finished and it's still coming out this year, so I will be including it to this list. And it is The Life is Strange 2. So The Life is Strange 2 is a really good game. I think there's a lot of really good stuff to it. The story of Sean and Daniel, the two siblings that through odds of destiny, they have to go through this really rough time in their life, and you experience their entire tragedy with them, and you see as their life just has more stuff that adds to them and everything. This is a click adventure kind of thing. You choose your story kind of type of deal, but the story is really well made. You really get to know these characters so well, and your choices make you feel like you really matter as far as how the story is going to develop and everything. And that is something that I can always appreciate. The story like that, it just makes you feel good about just everything. It's really good, but the story is not done yet, and there's still a lot to go. So I do recommend everybody, if you haven't checked it out, Life is Strange 2, you should definitely go check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much my list of the 10 games of 2019 that I'm enjoying so far. Some of them are still out there, some of them are just coming out now. So I definitely encourage everybody to check this out. Definitely not every game can make it into a numbered list so far. You can tell the kind of games that I play are more story driven and that kind of stuff. So this is my list. Maybe it's not your list, maybe it's not your kind of thing or anything like that. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video here. If you're new, liking and subscribing will be cool. But for now, I'll see you next time.